Big ad in the paper.
I bet he's at the fair. He's a fair weather.
Did you go?
No.
It can wait.
Okay, welcome to the special meeting of the Elizabethtown City Council. Tony Bishop will bring our invocation.
Let me pray. Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for all your blessings. We thank you for this community that we live in, for our city employees, our special responders, and all that they do. We ask that you be with us as we make the decisions, and that they be in your will. And we just ask that you watch over us and continue to guide us in your son's name. Amen. Amen.
Join us in the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We have two municipal orders tonight at the meeting. First one is Municipal Order 33, 2017, accepting the bid from Badgett Construction for the Hardin Justice Center renovation. Motion to read the order, please.
Motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
At a special meeting of the City Council of Elizabethtown, Kentucky, held on the date set out below, a motion to read and adopt the following municipal order was duly made, seconded, and approved. Be it ordered that the city accepts the bid from Badgett Construction for the Hardin County Justice Center renovations in the amount of $257,295. Be it further ordered that the mayor of the city and or her designate be and she is hereby authorized and directed to take all steps necessary to perfect this order, read, adopted, and approved this the 10th day of July, 2017.
Thank you. We have a motion to adopt the order.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Okay, municipal order number 34, 2017, approving the submission of the Community Development Block Grant for 2017 and 18 action plan to the Federal Department of Housing and Urban Development. Do we have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
None opposed?
Whereas the Elizabethtown City Council desires to operate a community development program under the guidelines of the Federal Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD, and the Community Development Block Grant CDBG program. And whereas the Elizabethtown City Council desires to comply with all statutes and laws relating to the operation of a program for the community. And whereas the Department of Planning and Development has conducted public hearings to gain input from the citizens of the community. And whereas the city of Elizabethtown has prepared the 2017 through 2018 action plan and consolidated plan in conformance with the procedures as outlined by HUD, now be it ordered by the Elizabethtown City Council that the mayor or her designate is directed to submit the annual action plan for 2017 through 2018 for the improvements in the Haycraft neighborhood to HUD for approval. Further, be it ordered that the City Council agrees to comply with all federal requirements of the CDBG program as outlined in the certification section of the plan. Read, adopted, and approved this the 10th day of July, 2017.
Thank you, Dee Dee. Motion to adopt the order.
Motion.
Second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Okay, motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, we'll now go into our regular work session. We have Mr. Martinez and Ms. Lockman. Thank you all. Bye.
I know, right there.
Right. Good afternoon, Major, Brigadier City Council. I'm Mr. Martinez. My name is over here from Red Bud, and from the Foxborough community. We have over here, from over here, Dorothy, Miss Florence. We're here because we've been going through a lot of rain in the neighborhood. So on the last, we have been here before. We're going to show you how the drainage system it is inadequate. Even though that we're going over there trying to fulfill something, is being completely inadequate. This is her house right here. This is the corner of her house. This is the water comes completely from the basin back here. From back here. So all the water goes into her house. It's not working, sorry. So, and that goes on. So, where you go next over here? Sorry. Are you moved to that? Sorry. Sure. I apologize. You'll see the house, her house, and that's all the water crossing the road completely.
So this is that basin that's directly behind 610 Birch Drive. You could see how full it was. There's still 2 hours of rain after this. Just kind of see how full that is.
Was this the June the 23rd incident?
Out of that basin at the bottom, this is the flow that was coming out. This travels down perpendicular to Birch. So you can see that. I have a picture for later, but it actually displaced all of the rocks in that area. So full. There's actually a bridge under here that's completely underwater. Like I said, this is the completed basin. That, you couldn't even get anywhere near that stand with the flow of the water. That's Birch right there. And this is across Birch. So this is, like I said, there's a bridge over here completely underwater.
Up until that rain, had the basin been working right? I mean, I'd stopped by your home and it seemed to have been working, but we didn't have the volumes of water that we had in this last storm.
Right. The concern with the basin, up to that point, it had not overflowed or had not reached peak. But I had talked to one of the construction people as they were digging the basin, and they had said there wasn't any way they could actually make the basin the size that it was. This was on the time. The other problem is that you saw the flow out of the bottom.
Can you repeat that? I couldn't hear you.
Sorry. When the basin was under construction, toward the end of it, I spoke to one of the people that was working, the lead construction person on the job, And he said that he was not able to make the basin the size that it should have been. I don't know,
So you don't know who said that?
right, but he said that he was that. And like I said, I've not seen it overflow until this point that it was just flowing, but the flow itself has been with the water that heavy. And I'd submitted a picture where you can see the rocks have completely been dug under. So my concern is that with the proposal of repairing this with more rocks, with the flow being as it is, and also as the rocks, as I understand it, were deemed to be necessary, not cosmetic, that the system is not going to hold. Even if you widen the basin, the rocks are still going to get turned up like that with that type of overflow water. And the concern of that much water, I couldn't even go near it. I can't imagine a child. I have a 100-pound dog who is not going anywhere near that. I mean, that is ridiculously scary.
Yeah.
And on my property, I'm very concerned. So I would like that addressed in a different way than just the rocks embedded in the ground. That's not going to work.
And that's going through that, it just also behind, this is actually Vanessa's video, apparently it just came out on the wrong place. Right. And once again, they came to my property and they added more rocks. What they did, it just raised the water level once again. So it makes, instead of digging it out, wiping it out, when it was suggested to me and I agree upon, but later was somebody went back and fixed it into a different way. So the water have now reached my depth. So the water is not coming. Also, the amount of dirt that I added into the side of my property is already enough that it's just only inches away for the water now to come into my driveway and into my house. So another issue is that on what they fix over here lately, when they remove, this is how from where the water is supposed to be going. They removed the rock from over here that it was there months ago, but they never came back. So the whirlpool that is addressed in here, it is so strong that actually is creating so much water everywhere. My neighbors, Marie's house, the other day, she was calling me because her house was completely underwater across the street. This is my house over here. No, this is her house over here once again. This is my house. No. This is my house over here. So that's the front of the house. See? This is right in front of his own house. All the water is coming from the road, and it's a big pool going down the road. That's the whole water coming down. That's it on my house on this side. See how the water goes over. The pressure that the water comes from the basin, because I'm actually, like I said before, I have 3 drainages coming into my property. I'm coming the one from their side and the one from White Oak. So 1 drainage is enough. 2 and 3, I'm the losing in my property constantly. See how right this corner right here, is the corner of my deck. The water already had reached and it's coming already from this side. This is the water after it crosses the street in front of this renovation. On the neighbor house. They came and repaired that over here that was down. Somebody came and just put it back up and added some dirt on this. That's in front of is also the fire hydrant. It is covered completely all the time. If we happen to have fire that day, we are on the water because they won't be able to get it. Yes, it is raining, but we're not supposed to have fires, but it could happen. See? I just want all of you to be aware of it. We are in the constantly. I have to wake up in the middle of the night. The other night when it rained Friday night, I was out in the middle of the night. I have to go back and check. I have to make sure there's no debris ever from any tree or anywhere. Anything that comes from the property because they're doing construction in Covington Ridge. All that dirt is coming and adding more topsoil to the rocks. All the rocks that they actually added into my property, they're ready to wash off as well. They are not heavy enough, and also the strength of the water is pushing everything, is washing everything out. So we're asking that if they're going to fix, please remove everything out. Don't add more stress to what is already there. Okay. Yes. Right, son.
I have a question. Situation I'm also dealing with. I'm at 604 First. I'm facing right across from where that fire hydrant is. And I made a request to the city here to fix this grate because I have a 5 and a 4-year-old,
What is your name?
Tom Collette.
Your last name?
Collette, C-O.
Thanks, Tom.
I made a request. Yeah, fix it. Now, they came out the first day and they put some dirt in a hole. So immediately after first washing it, it washed out. They then came and put some cones around it and they dug a hole between my neighbors and mine, and then they left it just like that. In the past 2 months, those traffic cones have been there and no work has been done. With a 5 and a 4-year-old in this rain, in that grade, there's another perimeter. That's dangerous. That's dangerous. Not only with that water, that 5 and 4-year-old get out, they get caught that big. You're talking big problem. If you look in the second picture, I think was the one I took of the, or the third picture shows the rocks from the original embankment where that grate was sitting on. They basically didn't do anything, so now it's partially collapsed into that section. There's nothing holding that grate there except dirt. So, within the last 2, I just a couple more pictures of the water.
Thank you, sir.
I live across from town.
What is your name, ma'am?
Florence Olin. I'm Mrs. Philip Olin. I'm a widow. I'm 85 years old. I first want to thank you all for listening to us and trying to help us. I cannot walk in my backyard. The water across Tom and across from the other house comes pouring down from the least rain. It has completely removed soil from my backyard down to the roots of the trees. So we brought in a nursery person and to replace it with dirt, grass, till you repair problem. It's not going to fix it. And to put in drainage and rocks and steps, it's over $7,000 $7,000 I cannot convey. I want the problem to be remedied before I try to repair my backyard. In order to go in my backyard, I have to go down into my basement, go out the side door. Some of you have been to my home. You know, the water just pours across the road. It brings rocks, debris, and it has washed away part of my backyard. Plus, I'm lucky. I haven't gotten water in the basement, but it's been all the way up my driveway to the garage doors from the spring because of the rain.
So that's still going on
Yes.
even after the basin was done
Right.
and,
By the way, my son came up to help me with his first degree, horticulture, second is agricultural mechanization, he has a PhD. And it's amazing that it's not been corrected. He solved it. He went to that subdivision across from ours, and he couldn't believe that that it's expected to have the remedy. You know, big, what do you call that?
The basin.
The basin, and how it's all set up. And of course, he doesn't live in this state, so he cannot be here to help me. He made a special trip just to check on my backyard, come up with some ideas, but I'm not going to repair it yet. Till I know that the water problem is corrected. Thank you so much.
This is the back of the house of Miss Vanessa Jeff, and also the other neighbor that he actually repaired his backyard. He spent thousands and thousands of dollars in his backyard, and now the water is coming back. So we're putting our effort, spending thousands and thousands of dollars in our properties to be washed out again from the water. That subdivision that it was approved, they should be address the issue when the water was coming down, but it was never addressed correctly. So I'm asking, referring you to somebody over there, fix the drainage to alleviate our property and the value of our properties as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Did you have anything? Or, um, Charlie Bryant, you're up.
Just wanted to report to update you on tender contracts been working on and make sure that we have consistent insurance policy. Develop service agreement will include the services from suppliers so they might be involved with being on city facilities, city property, provided with professional services contract, obviously. We have construction contracts. So in each of those now we have a provision for insurance for $1 million insurance. We have provision city to be additionally insured. And we have indemnification clause in there with the contractors indemnifying the city. Last note I have there is a question for you all as far as us moving ahead with getting all of our contracts up to date. Of course, anything that's within $1,000 of single item or is also aggregate of a year's time should be bid or we bid done on that. Where most of our services are quotes. I mean, try to get at least 3 quotes. So question is, as I said, part bank, actually, all of the agreements, completed is, are there any of these agreements that you all would like to specifically approve? Or that's about approving the ones that are over $20,000? Or is there some number under which you're okay, but administrative feelings on that? So I'm really asking for you to answer that today. I think that's the point we are at now. Decide, okay, as we sort all of these figures out among the departments, I'm still getting that information. Who the vendors are and what types of services that they have. Whether or not, said, you don't want to approve anything specifically with an operating business.
Charlie, is there anything that brought that you brought it up at this time?
No, I don't have anything particular to point out to you. Obviously, the 20,000 is a magic number that affects on state law. But there are some, there's some services that we're dealing with that it may be difficult, let's say, for instance, to get enough vendors or any vendors interested in that they're having go with the full package. I can't say that anyone has refused yet, but our initial contacts, but that's a possibility. That really doesn't have anything to do with this, but that's one of the things that we're going to be dealing with individually from vendors. But as I said, feeling comfortable since the question now has been asked about these agreements with insurance and all those provisions, are you comfortable with only doing a council approval? That's where you want to see some of the other trying to get an idea so that we can start sorting these things out.
Charlie, and you said the state guideline is at 20,000?
That's correct. For advertising, it's publicly advertised.
Does the KLC give any guidance on this as well?
I haven't done any research on KLC. I'd say it's very independent city. Have to comply with the law and the requirements go there, but some of the things, especially service kind of agreements, you might not know how much you're going for the next, maybe 15,000 one year, and maybe 22,000 the next. So there's some decision making that has to be done there to contract for the service, and once you reach that 20,000 limit, you need to stop back up and advertise. So there are decisions like that that we want to have to make. Some of them are very easily, they're $50,000 here. The problem that we get to is some of them get so small, maybe like $500-600 a year. We're asking for dollars. Make sure legal consideration. Whether or not we have any problems getting ready prices or any of them, but not there yet. I'm telling you, I think there are some vendors that are very small.
Do they not work for anybody else but the city? Do they work for other people or just the city?
Sometimes, well, I can't say. They probably do. I'll give you for instance, recent. Some of the city properties, we allow individuals just to come on and mow. benefit the city, we don't have to know it. They come in and know, they pay on it. They don't pay them anything. They don't pay the city. So getting them to this level of insurance and commitment to convenience, education, all that, I don't know what we're going to be. The alternative is maybe we don't have anybody that does that for us. Maybe we do all of that ourselves, which at times we have to, but we're currently, if we can find someone that come on those properties and take care of several acres. No, let them do that. They doesn't have to spend time.
So would we not still get a hold harmless agreement? Let's say they're mowing 2 or 3 acres and somebody assisting with the mowing gets hurt. Are they gonna look to the city to recover the injury sustained? Or-
That's obviously not an issue, but the insurance policy might be the issue, I think, at this point. Yes, no, and indemnification policy.
Charlie, administratively, if we change our council approval under, would that somewhat box the system down? I mean, I said we have a number of things under that. I mean, would that?
It will, I mean, unfortunately, we spread it out. Those need someone that has to talk to us, have to, not only make all those contacts, get agreements signed, but do also follow through, make sure that we're getting those things officially through the mayor's office. Then we're gonna have to make sure that special all that's up to date. So there is gonna be quite a bit of effort to do that. Not that it can't be done, you know, except procedures for doing that. Yes, it
Yeah,
requires an effort.
Charlie, I'm fine with the way it is.
Yeah,
I need to.
I'm fine. I don't know if we would have to, if we got into it
Good
too
thing.
much, we end up having a special call meeting almost. Possibly.
He thinks it's working, so let's.
I just think the number of
Number of-
situations under 20,000.
Yeah, under 20,000, but just,
I have no problem with the way.
As we get into this, actually get these agreements done. And we won't have problems with this one. It is good where we have the opportunity just to deal with it administrative, but I just, that's that, take extra steps, so that we have everything. Prepared, so.
Anything? Okay, let me ask, the ones of you that just came down to talk, can you stay a little bit and talk to us? And the rest of you, if it doesn't pertain to your department, I'd really like Robert to stay and Ed. Don, you want to stay?
How about the chief with the
Desiree?
fire hydrant situation? Want him to stay?
I don't-
No?
I don't-
Okay. Just asking.
Is that all right? Yeah, and that way, you know, we can, because there's a lot of you that this doesn't concern at all, and I don't want to keep you any longer than we have to. Unless you want to stay, I mean, you're all welcome. Sure, sure, we love it.
Sarah says she's out of here.
Did you want to mention your concert Saturday night?
I would love to, yes.
Well, all right, stand up and do that before you go.
Well, Saturday night, we will be having a gospel show at the Historic State Theater right across the street. Tickets are $10. Cumberland Thunder out of Russell Springs, Kentucky, performing live with a special guest in Green Hour. It'll be a great night, great music, good group. Good friends. So, come out, we'd love to have you. Thanks for having me. I'm gonna go home. So.
Thank you. Yeah. Do you all want to move up here on the front row? And Robert and Desiree, you all want to come up here so we can all hear? You know, I'm not getting any younger and I don't hear as well as I used to, so. And I know Ron Thomas probably couldn't hear either.
I couldn't hear that.
There were just a couple of things I wanted to mention. We all know that night we had a flood. I mean, oh my gosh, there were roads you couldn't cross in this town. You know, it was unbelievable. We actually had a flood. So what I want to know is, before this flood, were you having, so nothing we've done has helped at all?
If we just get a normal heavy rain, pre-flood, it already starts falling up. This is in front of 64 water goes down on a normal heavy rain, not like the flood thing we had. So I'm getting this kind of feeling that you take it to the flood. It's not normal heavy rain. This is something we talked about 9 months ago. Really didn't get fixed. But on a normal heavy rain, the street in front of her driveway starts to flood. It continues on for, let's say, an hour or two, then it starts backing up and it starts overflowing.
Just so we, and understand what you're saying, but so we could go back maybe and look at some data. Does anybody, can you give us a date? And I know you said under normal rain. I'm curious, Ms. Owen, when was the last time prior to this one that it came up in your driveway? I mean, was it 2 weeks ago, a week ago, 3? Okay. And it was, but you had water in your driveway then, you said 2 weeks prior to this. Okay.
So absolutely nothing that we've done out there has made any difference. Because didn't we,
Yeah, yes, we did. You know, we made a substantial improvement in the basin that you showed on the photographs. It looked like the basin was functioning pretty well. In fact, the water levels were not even breaching over the top of the basin. Now the structure looks like it was flowing. There's one issue that I saw immediately, and that's the capacity of the pipes across Burge right there.
Talked about that 9 months ago.
Right. And we've got a solution for that, and it's in our agenda to work on it. So that's coming.
So are you meaning the flow that we showed was anticipated, that's acceptable?
The flow that,
That is completely unacceptable. I couldn't go near it and I'm a full adult. I can't imagine a child going near that, and that's a normal rain. That flow happens the size of the pipe. The size of the exit pipe out of that basin is not changing. If you look at the rocks, they're underneath where that outlet comes, they're completely disorganized. The flow of that is completely dug under and moved those rocks.
But you're saying that's happening on just a normal rain day?
That rock
Okay.
structure cannot support that flow. I'm not an expert. That rock structure, digging it and compounding it, that's what we did 5 years ago when the air was involved last time. It doesn't work, and now we've got more flow. It's bigger, we've got pressure back up. That's not.
While you put it there, the pressure is stronger, so it push more water in. So with open flow, that you put it in pressure, you move whatever you want along the way. Not the top, just push everything out of the way. These are so small coming out from there, it doesn't matter. So they have to threshold. So the way it will be because of what so like that pressure flex right. Everything along the way. Yeah, we get a normal thunderstorm. Normal thunderstorm.
is the pipes downstream are larger. The pipes coming from Mr. Martinez's house across the street there at Redwood is not large enough. It should be about double the capacity that's there. And that will make everything, it'll lower the water table everywhere in that area when those pipes are in there. So it will help with that. I mean, it will not make all the water in the air go away. That's still going to be there. But it will be better accommodated. Pardon me. Okay.
All the curves, at the end of the water would come up in front of them.
Robert, is
Robert-
this list that we've got, this operations project list, and you've got the Redbud Crossing, Martinez, and then the Birch Crossing. Is that what you're talking about there? Making the,
So what's our
They were
timeline?
4 and 5 on there. What?
Timeline is, we're a few weeks away from that. I think that's a good timeline.
They were a few weeks away when we first brought it up in like November. You know, we brought it up before the election. It seemed like we had something after the election. If you're wrong, when I see, gotta stop.
Well, I'll be honest, I mean, I've stopped by after the basin was done a couple of times and everything seemed to be fine. I haven't heard that it was bad again. This is the first.
Well, it's very,
It's the expression of that coming. I saw that it was
Right.
coming, it would lose a major.
Right.
So, I use small thing.
Right.
So everybody relaxes a little.
I
That's right.
actually relaxed, I was, for a while, it's gonna get better. But it has to.
What was the deal with the pictures of the cones that had been there for what you said,
It's been there
months?
for a couple months.
What was the deal with that? What,
That was Robert, that was our group, we went over there, once we discovered that one, there's a driveway that's next to that box. Tile is disintegrated, and we put Robert to bed. But then there's some tile issues that run across the verge, and also that box is broken down and construction, I don't know who constructed that.
Right.
Because there's some decorative stacking blocks in the back of it, and then you've got some other kind of concrete structure, so we talked to Michael and talked to Robert. Robert's in the stage of designing it because we knew anything we did, we're gonna be tearing it back out because it was deficient to begin with. So we tried to secure it up and then with the cones, sure the dirt did wash out. But that's why it's at that point now. at that
Waiting
stage,
for
because once we get
Robert to
design
do the
for
project.
construction,
Okay.
Anything you do, even if you change the out of the ditch, if you're just in pipe, or if you're overloading the pipe, it's complicated problem, so. We're trying to work together.
but there are remedies.
I'd like to point out, they first came out and they gave us this form and all the little flags that were marked and everything. And I called 5 months after it was done, and said, what about these flags? Can we remove them now? And it was, oh, we don't need those anymore. Go ahead and take them out.
so whose flags were they? What were they
Those
for?
are the utilities, what we called in, and that was toward the fall, and the ditch just stayed wet, you could go in there and you dig it out, we found just as much as before.
And I apologize.
So, yeah,
We should have removed the flags
Yes.
instead of
But
you.
those are utility flags.
Right.
Calling for
Thank
location.
So Don, you need Robert's group to finish what they do first before you can fix this
We'll work
in conjunction. Now, are you going to need to remove the decorative bricks and the bushes as well to help the flow?
Yeah,
Yeah,
there needs to be a complete redesign of that.
right.
Because I'm not even sure if that was the original structure that was there. It looks like there might have been some driveway tiles and pipe, maybe with a head wall. It looks like somebody has added on to that, boxed that in. But originally, it might have been just a head wall.
You think the developer is the one that installed this
And I think
with a
so.
language?
I'm sure the developer left.
Didn't it have a sewer top or something there? Yes, yes.
the water business.
Robert, did you give us a timeline when we asked about the project list?
I said it's weeks for their project, so down to that category. We probably got 3 weeks of work, so under 2 or 3 items, so.
Reason I asked that, and one of you all said that you're aware of what is on this but that you didn't think that was gonna help.
Well, I think several
Thought
things.
you all said-
There's a lot of moving parts, and to get back to what your biggest concern is, the amount of water coming out of that basin is always going to be the same, as long as that pipe is the same size, and that's what you're mentioning.
There's 2 pipes. There's a pipe out of the basin.
Yes, ma'am.
There's a pipe under the
Yes, ma'am.
The under the street is entirely too small. We've already talked about that being an issue. But the pipe under the basin is.
That's right. And when it comes out, it's completely washing the rock that's lining the ditch
Right.
completely away. So if you made a smaller pipe, then the basin's going to overflow over the berm because it's not letting the water out, fast enough. So is there anything that you can do to the ditch itself to keep the rock stationary?
Yeah, and that would be a heavier.
One
Yes,
to
ma'am.
clarify that, the reason I bring that up is the proposal was to make the ditch wider and first the outlet pipe under first. But to put the rock back in the same infrastructure.
Right.
That being a homeowner charge of several $1,000s. First of all, that was considered required that the council cosmetic. Second, it's not working the way it is, so why should I pay for something that's required by the city that isn't working? So those are my 2 concerns out of that. Flow, there's no rates, there's no, like out of it, there's a rate, that's like 45-degree angle right over it. But that flow comes several feet beyond where that pipe exits. That's how fast the discharge is coming. It's
Right.
actually shooting out of that space. That needs to be a whole different structure. Children, people out of it. See?
One of the 2 people in the neighborhood, children that are that age, they get caught on the video.
I believe it.
And once again, and I just want us to make sure, but we're not talking about June 23rd. We're talking about any storm.
Yes.
Okay.
This has been going on since, what, November of.
I know, I just realized, the only reason I mention that is, my backyard I could have taken a movie of my backyard and it was the same identical thing as your all's.
And we all
On
could
June
attest to
23rd.
that.
Mine was.
On
the
June
same.
23rd.
I'm not.
Okay, but those
That's what I'm
pictures
trying to
were taken
clarify.
because of that storm. So that's the reason why I want to make sure, because there were streets in my neighborhood flooded and just like your all's, just like those pictures.
I think we're the way it's going, sir.
Yes.
I mean, you just cannot wait and wait.
And then all of a sudden, boom.
I don't think
Yeah,
just-
I got you.
I mean, they have sent me a proposal that is to market and, we can clean this out, we can remove all the things back. And I said, okay, you guys can do it. So it will cost you this amount of money. So to put the new riprap, we're going to go into the guidelines and we're going to make it better. Different. Are you going to be with it?
Right.
I think we're dealing with a large team.
I
Sure.
understand. I understand. And
We don't call every time and go, hey,
Right.
the water over the street again.
well, I'll just, from this end, and I'm glad we're discussing it because to tell you the truth, you all kind of shocked me tonight on this because I thought that the things that we were doing over there were helping.
Right.
And that's what is so surprising to us is that nothing has been improved. And as the mayor wanted to ask, nothing has helped so far,
I mean, we have constant construction.
Yes, sir.
on that coming. So all of that dirt is coming down and it's covering everything once again. So no matter what, all that washout, all the dirt is coming instead of all the rock. All that extra water, all that push everything out. So therefore, there's something like that. Any water, dirt, the water is going to come.
Right.
So no matter what, not to get addressed, just a point, overflowing. And that's, I would be concerned about here, so. I thought I was gonna be, it should feel, an open back here work, I'm basing, you're gonna work, I mean, everybody, just relax. We just, I don't know, something is coming. We saw so many changes over here, the one who was say somebody, dark, and moving some dirt. Across my neighborhood, across my house, we will clean up that big rubbish over here, then remove the covers and everything else, they remove all the rocks. Go back now and you will see again.
Gotcha. Well, I think that's what the basin was there for.
And I would like to, on the bottom of the basin, dirt, you can tell when it rains, watch the dirt flow down and across. You can see it in the pictures where there was, the water buildup, and then you can watch this whole mud just.
But let me ask you this,
Yeah.
did, as far as you can tell, has the basin, since we've redone the basin, has it ever overflowed from the top? Not out of the pipe, from the top?
Not that I've seen.
So that means, and that's,
That means it's
that means it's
I
working.
will add, I've been gone for a month.
Right.
During our rainy season.
Right.
I was not here to watch that.
But if it didn't overflow during the
It's
flash
working.
flood, it's not gonna overflow.
It's holding it, but like I said, the flow that's out of the bottom is fighting.
Yes, ma'am. But if it is holding it, then I think what Robert is saying is if it's not coming over the banks of the basin, then the basin is actually working the way it was designed to work. Is that what you're saying?
Explain the
Okay.
flow that you're seeing there, because that volume would be over the top. Before we touched it, there's a shallow storage there that would have just been clipped.
Well, I have pictures of that too.
Right,
And we've seen them,
But
you shared
that
this with us.
flow is what I'm asking you about. They said that was what you would anticipate, but I can't go near that and talk to them. I don't want that liability. And I also don't feel it's appropriate that I should be charged to pay for the riprap to go back on it when we know that the riprap is working.
Right.
That's, to me, that's my concern about that. Even if you made that basin, the ditch between the basin exit and first bigger, that flow is still what's coming out of that pipe. That pipe is not changing
That's right.
diameter.
That's right.
And that's where the problem is. So either he's concrete and graded over or something. I don't know, whatever needs to be fixed. The way it is in the
Well, we had proposed this class 3 channel, which is it's a larger stone than what you see, so it'll have it'll be less likely to tumble through the, so it will be placed, and Mr. Martinez can attest, it would be grouted in place. That would be almost like a concrete ditch. You'd have more capacity, you'd have double pipes underneath the street that would lower the head at that location. So you'd have that thing more laminar function and keep more in tank.
You're proposing a concrete down the entire thing.
No, it's a class 3 channel.
So if it's concrete, it'll flow even faster.
Right, it needs to be graded over.
So are you, what you're saying, are you gonna clean everything out? So we can put the new rocks? Because
Saying
you,
we're gonna expand the ditch to the width that it needs to be.
and the depth, you know, that you
That's the idea, to get more width cross section, get more pipe capacity through the streets, and then you should be in a lot better shape. I can't make the water not come there, but I can buffer through that detention basin, which you saw working. I mean, all that pipe, I forgot the outlet size there, it's a 24-inch outlet.
So it would come all the way from across the street from my neighbor's back here, from the Vanessa, get out from 421, going back from 419.
The thing, one of the things that's stymied us is we haven't got participation. I mean, you signed on participation in our project, willing to reimburse for the stone that we placed, but I think you're the only resident out there that has. So that is fine with us.
And right now, right now it's not working because all the rock that it didn't wash. It's, I can't have.
Well, we plan to, and again, the timing of that storm was bad because it brought you all up here. There's been another month from now, you know, we're just now getting into construction season proper. We've had some backlog of things that need to be done through the winter time. Now we're in the middle of being able to do some things because it's starting to dry up as soon as the spring rains kind of quit a little bit. So that's our construction season starting. So we're in the peak of it, and it's time to do these things. So again, patience has been appreciated as far as I understand your frustration.
Has there been an outside about this? We've seen the people going back to the costume,
You're not seeing progress because, believe it or not, there were projects ahead of yours. And that's what we said, and like right now, we have a list here and you're 4 and 5 on the list, that his stormwater department does. That's what happened there. Now, what you're wanting is to hire a consultant from somewhere else to see if he's, sure, you all can do that if you'd like. I mean, I don't know that we would because,
We already have.
yeah, I mean,
The reason I asked that is the neighbor that we saw that has gone ahead and fixed property on his roof line, he had been talking about this for almost years. Then going back and forth, he finally got frustrated, wasn't getting out of it. But he had it down. You could see the frustration. So it's almost wear your neighborhood down and find where they just put up with the let it come, or I just don't stop them.
We did 3 or 4 maintenance projects in Mr. Doolan's yard at the alley.
absolutely.
So it's not that he was on
See what he finally had to do.
on deaf ears. Well, he had some grading and he's got an area back there that's difficult to grow grass on. He's got a lot of tree cover and issues.
We brought this forward prior to November of last year. Where was our standing?
I didn't have a list then, so I can't tell you. And, but I know when you brought it, because these guys were out there knocking on doors and campaigning, and you brought it forward, and you went out there, right? And you went out there.
Very, very high because we had an opportunity to do something in the basin at that moment. We understood your concerns and we were very responsive. I thought in 2 weeks we did 4 months worth of work in here right in the basin. So it was,
Like for my issue, we haven't been that. Brought it up last week. And it still hasn't been there. And it's always like, well, we have to wait until it dries out. I understand it. It rains like every 5 days.
And we can't control it, right?
You can't control it. I wonder where are the priorities? Since we were at the top because of that.
Right now, you're at 4 and 5. That part of the neighborhood. And this is the reason I asked you all to stay and talk about this. I mean, we're not your enemies. I mean, my gosh, nobody'd rather have this taken care of more than me. And I'm gonna be out of here in 18 months. I'd like to see it done before I leave. And I know these guys all want out. 5 and 6. I'm sorry, 5 and 6. Okay.
And because you're 5 and 6 on the list, doesn't mean that you have to wait until those other 4 things are 100% completely done, because some of those other things might not require the same equipment or the same personnel. Or the
No,
same
we can take those
expertise.
orange cones out there and set them around for a few months. I'm only kidding. I couldn't help it. No. But there are some on here that we've been working with for quite a while, and they need major that we have got to do before we can come. But
Just finished a major renovation, subdivision renovation in Presidential States, just like we've done that. We started that back in the fall. We've wintered with that project. We've got major pipes in, got ditches built, and some really positive feedback from some folks that we were working with on that project. So I think just some patience on your part, maybe another month's worth, and you'll see what happens.
I think you've been patient.
I do.
Okay,
I
I
do.
think you've been patient. It's just, and like I said, I was surprised. Okay, because I thought that some of the things we were doing were helping. I really did.
Well, in fact, we had 2 updates in the last 3 months on work that was being done out there. We did, I mean, we had updates on work that we asked. And like, I mean, I was surprised, like Councilman Shipp said, I was surprised to hear.
But I think that's it. At first, we thought maybe you were here because of this terrible storm we
Yes.
had in June,
Yes.
which everybody flooded. So
Yeah.
that's why, as Terry pointed out, we didn't realize.
That's the
Right.
final straw.
Yeah.
I got you. Yeah.
Little thing goes, and you let it go by.
Mr. Martinez, your ditch improvement that we just finished before this torrential rain that we had. So you said it was out of bank still in those rainfalls?
Yes, sir, all the way back, way down goes, deck.
Before this rainfall. Okay.
So, and now, this time, he just kind of pushed it forward, so it washed out everything that was really come out of this storm. So it was making more, because already the dirt is coming out, all that berm that it was been there, washed out. So I'm constantly there putting grass, throwing seeds, whatever I can do to combat all that, going there. You know, I want that county there.
Scour at your driveway still happening.
I mean, well, you guys get in there, right? But now the water is just coming down, it's just away, because it's still the development is not the actual.
We'll go back and revisit that and make sure that everything's in order.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
My staff is.
Well, and that's what I was gonna ask on Miss Owens' property. The basin isn't your problem. The water isn't
No,
coming
no.
from that area at all. So what are we doing over in?
That's just the old subdivision
Yes.
design all cobbled together there.
And remember
Right.
the first time you all brought this to us, remember we had flow 1 and flow 2.
Right.
You know, so the basin is flow 1.
Right.
And so
You're in
that's
the
right.
flow
I know
too.
you're still
Okay.
getting flow 2 and that was the ditches that was going to have to go between the residences and stuff like that because it's coming.
But that's also been an issue,
But
as Robert
we
saying,
certainly
because we
thought that-
can't get all those residents to come on board to help us get that ditch line through the back part. Or in between the properties for flow 2. Yeah. Yeah, but there's been some apprehension on some that said they won't.
And I think that was part of the proposal.
Yes, yes.
Ms. Owen, are you getting erosion from Covington Ridge on regular thunderstorms as well?
That bacon.
My backyard is
Yeah, I was just curious if we've got, the developers have appropriate erosion control there, Covington Ridge to keep, I mean, they've got water problems, definitely, but the erosion, keeping the dirt from the development coming down to their subdivision as well, if that's it.
It's only ditch shape, or to get deep, because you can pipe the driveway, and pipe the
Right,
lots.
right,
So
right.
if you go in there and you shake the ditch, then it's all about, because you're gonna throw water on here and then it's gonna back up, so.
Don, I don't think what you're talking about there can be done until we do that down there.
Done at the same time. That's
Yeah.
what we ran into when we went out there.
All down on my ground. I'm worried about that. All over my driveway. So I'm speaking to the water line. How about you send for boys and all this in my driveway?
Well, we appreciate your time, and I know you've been patient. We already said that, but we will look at it. Thank you.
Thank y'all. Ms. Rail, continue to communicate with you. If you haven't responded back to our emails that you want to be a part of the project, do so. It's important that everybody belongs, does their little part, they'll make everything work better. Anyway, that's it. Thanks.
And believe you me, we will be as happy someday, we hope, when you all come in here and say, thank you, it took care of it. Now you.
He'll eat it. We will.
We will eat it.
Yeah,
Yeah, she just said him.
Thank you.
Thank you all
Thank
so
you.
much. Thank you.
Miss Owen. I want to get you some.
Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Good
Mr.
night.
Martinez.
You know, at first I was like you guys. You know, at first I was like you all. Well, you know, we can't help these torrential rains sometimes happen. It's just normal. You got a problem. Does yours flood back there? There's normal thunderstorms.
They don't want to pay for it.
Got the infrastructure.
We always do like you just said, but I wanted you to.
Sure, I'm glad I got it. It does make the water move faster, but it moves faster when it gets out of there.
Well, you know, you talk about that plan certain, of course, you weren't on the council, but up in Covington Ridge, off of Fair Orchard Road, you know, Fair Orchard goes down here, there's old junkie house right here. Down here, it's been a pond forever. They allow them to
Oh,
build
wow.
fall straight down into this pond, and all that, they tried to, and now all that's washing out onto the road and muddy.
That one,
Wait to see that house is gonna be.
yeah, that one was dumb, Mayor. I couldn't understand that.
So great, no.
Fortunately, with our new program, we can.
Yeah, whoever buys it's gonna be, yeah. Somebody will.
Oh, wow.
13 to 14, we were talking about Covington.
Do you have some sisters?
Really?
Yeah, we knew then that it was flooding through there. We talked about version that, and I didn't bring it up. I didn't want to embarrass anybody, but we were talking about it back then.
But your sisters, where do they live?
We talked about it, and we talked about them being on the list, but at the time, Poplar and Village and at Hawkins Drive, you know, they were.
No, I just grew up there in Jefferson County, but what about, Sister Owen, did he have any sisters?
Foxborough area.
Buckle bread.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
There were two ladies that lived, one of them lived across from my son, off of Preston Street, and I thought they mentioned they were related to you all.
And we have to.
She said, she has specified.
Yeah.
What if one of the.
All those,
What do I- You want to call her?